the thing is like they can consume all of that information, but that doesn't necessarily mean they have an opportunity to really ask the questions that they have, really dig deeper into the information that they're curious about. I think it's definitely difficult to, get what you really need off of reading a book or reading a website or watching a video. I think you really do need that person-to-person interaction to really get to the meat of people's anxieties and fears and really the things that they want to learn to build that confidence. So definitely, they're like, oh, we're just really grateful that people say, we're really grateful for the fact that we have this platform and that it's not just, a video or a link or we do sign up for a class and then we're getting messages that, oh, that's been canceled and then the next one's been canceled. So like the fact that we know we can access this, we're building a community and we're getting the information we need. These families are definitely building their confidence. I had one couple say, they're like, oh, we were talking to our friends about our birth class and they were like, oh yeah, like we might do that, but it's a little old school to do like the classes. So they were like, no, I don't think you're thinking of the classes like the way they are now. I don't think you're thinking the same thing, right? They're like, we felt like it was so helpful and really helped us, with our process. And so, I just think it's great that our organization was able to kind of pivot very quickly into this new space.
It was a really nice class. It was a lot of information. Because I've had other kids, I knew some of the information and some of the information was new to me. So it was nice because I wanted to do a natural birth and I wanted someone that would like actually promote it, and say like, This is your options. You don't have to like go, in there and say like, I want to, I want this to be pain free. You can say like, I am signed up for this. I know my body can handle it. Right?
But having this weekly focus on this thing that we were all doing for partners and those carrying alike, there were times where I was like, well, I'm really glad that I heard that, and I'd write it down and it'd be something that I would remember later, like learning about the different type of we had a cesarean because he was breech, and learning about the different types of cesareans and gentles. And then other times it would be like, hey, that was just kind of nice to connect with people. Like, I don't know how much I took away, but I felt good focusing on us.
Feel like it sounds odd. I actually feel like depending on the class, different folks click with other people, but so some of my classes, I feel like they might even be closer than some of the some of the in-person classes, because I feel like the fact that they're in their homes, they're in their comfort zone, they actually tend to open up a little bit more. It's like sometimes you kind of get these opportunities that maybe you wouldn't otherwise, or even, sports team, backgrounds and things like, oh, what team do you support? Then they're chatting about that. So different ways. But I feel like some of these classes, they're very close knit, even though they're on Zoom.
Like we're all going through the same things, and we can relate to one another on a different level because COVID made things a lot more difficult for mothers. Some of us couldn't take our partners, and so it was like, oh, I can reach out to this person and see how they're handling it versus how like I might be handling it, It was really nice to know that like you're not alone, like even though it feels like you're alone when you're going through it, you're like, okay, I can't have someone there, I can't do this, I can't do that. You still had someone that you could like talk to and chat, or through email and say like, how are you dealing with it?
For me, I'm comfortable if I know more. So I tend to do that research on my own anyway. So I would hear something and then be like, oh, okay, remember that, and then really go look it up later. And that was most of it. For others, I would say it seemed to prompt a lot of like, oh, I didn't know about that. For me and my husband, we're kind of the last in a huge community of friends to have kids, and I love kids. And so I was already like, is he going to be tongue-tied? Is he going to be this? Like, oh yeah, I know all those things. Doesn't mean I understand how to deal with them. But so for me personally, it was tying it to other people going through what we were going through. And then even more so during the times we didn't spend too much time, but there was space created to be like,
being able to talk to other people that are going through the same thing. So someone reached out to me, and they it made me feel good to be like, okay, I can help her, and she feels like we're equal, not, you know, from a professional standpoint, and all the medical terms that sometimes we don't understand.
Is I had a class 2 weeks ago where one of the families had their baby early. So they had a baby 5 weeks early, and the mom messaged me and said, hey, we had our daughter early. And I was like, oh, congratulations. And they were like, well, we're still going to come though to class. And I was like, really? I was like, come, stay as long as you want, like come off whenever you want. And so just for the beginning, she talked about her birthing experience, holding her baby in the hospital room. These families are like, hanging on to every word. And so she talked about her whole experience, her support she had, everything, how breastfeeding was going, like all of those things. And they got to ask her these questions to her directly in her hospital room. I just sat back and let them have that time together. And I was like, how do you don't get that type of experience in person? I'm like, that is like, a silver lining you couldn't even kind of expect to have, is the fact that you could have an experience where they have a mom who literally gave birth 2 days ago that they know, and they're able to kind of share those experiences and ask the questions that they want to ask. And so, yes, the next class, they were like, okay, we need to make sure we're prepared, right? Because then they're all thinking we're going to be the next ones to have our baby, right? So, but it was really, really cool. I loved having that experience.
I just think that it's a great program. I think that I feel blessed that I was, able to get in when I did, because I missed the first week, but luckily I was able to get in. And I wish this was around, and I knew about it when I had my other kids, because it would have helped me make different decisions than what I made in the past. I was really happy that I got to use it, and I'm still using it. I'm taking other classes now. I'm signing up for whatever I can.